Hi TK, this is our directed draw in watercolor of a spring bunny or an Easter bunny, and I'm going to show you how to draw the bunny and do the watercolor paint around the bunny. If you do not have watercolor at home, you can always use a spring colored crayon and color around the outside of your bunny. So this is kind of what it will look like when it is finished. And the first thing that you are going to need is the blank white paper that I sent home in your packet. You will need a black crayon, a pink crayon, and I am going to use a light blue color to paint around my bunny. So the first thing we are going to do is use the black crayon, and we're going to make a big arch, and it's going to touch the bottom of my paper and arch around. Now I can't make it too big because remember, let's look at our bunny again. They have long ears, so if I make the arch way too big, there won't be enough room for me to make the long ears for the bunny. And if I make my arch way too small, I won't have room to add the details for his nose and his whiskers and his teeth and his eyes. So we need to make an arch that is, it's big, but not too big. So here we go. I'm going to set my camera down and draw an arch. And I go up, and I come back down. It's just like an upside down U. And I want you to notice something. My arch goes all the way to the bottom of my paper. No floating bunnies right now. Now we are going to add his little nose. Actually, it's kind of a big nose. So I'm going to draw a medium-sized circle. And I'm going to make a curved line in the middle of that circle, not a straight line. It's kind of a curved line. And what I mean by that, I'm going to start at the top and go to the bottom, and it's going to have a bit of a curve in it. And I'm going to adjust my paper here. Now I'm going to do his teeth. He has big teeth, and we're going to be drawing some rectangles or squares. So I'm going to come down, over, up. That's one big tooth. And just from there, I'm going to go over and up and connect it to his kind of muzzle. And then right on top of that, I'm going to make a black circle. And that will be his nose. And then I'm going to put above that 2 little black eyes. Now we have to do his whiskers. His whiskers we will do like all of the whiskers we've done in class before. We usually do 3 on each side, but these whiskers are going to go past his face and they're going to curl down and kind of, it almost looks like a curly Q or a circle at the end of that. So watch what I do. I'm going to start towards the top and I'm going to go out and I'm going to pass the side of his face, and I'm going to curl down, not up, but I'm going to curl down and in. So that is 1. I'm going to do 2. My bottom one is actually going to be inside his face. It's going to be a little bit shorter. That's one side. Now I'm going to do the other side, and I'm going to pass his face and curl down. I'm going to do the next one and curl down. Each time I'm making mine a little bit shorter. And curl down. Right now, this does not look like a bunny. We need to add the important detail of his long ears. I'm going to adjust my paper again. And they have long ears, and they are not like triangles. They're more rounded, so I'm going to curve, and I'm going to make very narrow arches. So I'm going to go up, I'm going to curve down, and come back down. So I'm choosing not to put any points on mine. Maybe the sample did show a point, but I'm going to do rounded ears. So very narrow arches. And inside that arch, I'm going to make a smaller arch. It's the inner part of his ear. And so I'm just going to go inside and make a smaller arch. And I'm going to do that to the other ear, make a smaller arch. And this is when I need my pink crayon. I'm going to fill in the inside part of his ear, and I'm actually going to push a little bit hard with my crayon so that it's a dark pink. And I'm going to fill that whole thing up. And I'm going to do the other ear now. I'm going to fill the whole inside one up. And the other place that I want to color pink is on his nose, it's like his muzzle part of his nose. So let me adjust the paper again so we can see that. And I'm going to color that in nice and dark. Okay, so I have that part all colored and I pushed a little bit hard. I'm trying to do no white in sight. I'm trying to stay inside the line that I made. And here comes the fun part. We are going to paint, but when we're painting, we're only painting around the rabbit. We're not going to paint the inside because this is a white rabbit. And try to pick a spring color that you have at home. So I'm using a very light blue and I'm dipping it into, this is liquid watercolor, by the way. You might have at home the little palette with the different colors and you have to dip your brush in water and then touch the pad. I don't have any of those in my classroom, so I'm going to use our liquid watercolor. And I'm going to paint around the edges of my bunny. I'm trying very hard to stay on the outside edge of my bunny. And I'm going to paint the other side and then I'll move my paper and paint the top. Maybe you could make a couple bunnies and you could do different spring backgrounds and then hang them up around your house and have some spring cheer around your house. I'm going to adjust my paper. And so I'm not going too fast because I want to make sure that I don't go off my paper and I don't go into my bunny. And I would love it if after you paint your bunny, if maybe you could take a picture of it and with you next to it and email it to me, and then I can see what lovely things you're doing at home. It helps me especially because I miss you guys so much, so it would be such a fun thing to see your face next to your bunny. This is my finished spring bunny. I can't wait to see what your bunnies look like. Have fun and happy spring.